Welcome to the Tool Review channel. Today we're taking a look at the Ideal Industries 45-220 wire strippers. Now these are not a part of Ideal's Made in the USA tools. They're made in the USA tool line. These, I believe, are made in Taiwan, but they are definitely a nice pair of wire strippers. So to start off the review here, you can see you can strip solid and stranded with these strippers. And on the solid side, you can go from 10 to 20 gauge solid wire. And on the stranded side, you can go from 12 to 22 gauge stranded wire, which is nice. And you have a solid and stranded looping hole right there on the plier as well. And then you have a little tiny pair of pliers up top in case you needed to bend some wire, loop some wire, maybe straighten out a spade terminal or any terminal whatsoever, or maybe pull off some insulation you weren't able to pull off with the strippers on there. So you can use those pliers for up there. And you do have your model number right there. And then you do have the Ideal Industries name laser etched onto the tool. All the markings are laser etched onto the tool. Nothing is stamped onto the tool. And then up here is your cutting edge, which is nice. And then as you can see, this tool has a lock, so it makes storing it. You don't have to worry about it springing open when you go to pull it out of your bag. The lock should, in theory, keep it shut. And as you can see, the handles are a nice dipped handle, but they're not like normal dipped handles. They have a bit of a texture to them. So if you're working in an oily or greasy environment, these handles, you should be able to grip onto these handles without having to worry about the tool slipping out of your hand. And then coming to the back side of the tool, it's relatively the same as the front side of the tool. Everything is laser etched onto the tool, and then you obviously have a little warning there that says don't use on live circuits. Obviously, the tool is not going to protect you from electrical shock if you do use it on a live circuit. And as you can see, this tool is relatively on the smaller side for a pair of wire strippers, which is nice. So if you need to use it in a compact or a tight environment, you should be able to use this tool no problem whatsoever. So we'll go ahead and zoom out here, and we will get to some of the functionality of the tool. So as you can see, it does have a lock, and the lock does move out of the way, which is nice. I personally always find that if the lock doesn't move out of the way far enough, I accidentally lock the tool while I'm using it. So it is nice to see that the lock does move out of the way, and I like to rest my index finger on that lock as well. So we're going to start off with bringing in some 18 gauge solid wire, and we're going to see how well this tool can strip some solid wire. And as you can see right there, it has no problem whatsoever stripping that 18 gauge solid wire, and it also has no problem cutting that solid wire as well. We'll go ahead and strip that wire one more time. As you can see, it strips it no problem whatsoever and cuts it no problem whatsoever. So now we are going to bring in some 14 gauge solid wire right here, and we're going to go to the third hole from the bottom, and we're going to see how well these can strip some 14 gauge solid wire. And as you can see right there, it's pretty effortless to strip some 14 gauge solid wire with that. We'll do that one more time. It's pretty effortless. All you gotta do is clamp down on it, and you're able to pull that insulation off no problem, and it cuts through the wire no problem whatsoever. So now we'll bring in some 12 gauge solid wire. So for the 12 gauge solid wire, we're going to be using the second hole from the bottom, and we'll see how well we can pull off this insulation. And as you can see right there, we are able to pull off that insulation no problem whatsoever, and we are able to cut through that wire no problem whatsoever as well. So we'll go ahead and do that one more time, and as you can see, we were able to pull off that insulation without damaging the wire whatsoever. We'll go ahead and cut that off as well. So now we'll put that off to the side, and we'll bring in some 14 gauge stranded wire, and we'll see how well we can cut through this and strip this wire. So for the 14 gauge stranded wire, again, we're going to be using the second hole from the bottom, and you just go pierce that outer insulation, and you should be able to pull off that insulation no problem whatsoever. And we will go ahead and cut that off right there, and we will go ahead and strip that wire one more time. And as you can see right there, you are able to just straight pull that insulation off no problem whatsoever, and you are able to cut it off. Cut off the wire no problem as well. So now we're going to bring in some 12 gauge stranded wire. This is the largest wire that this tool can strip. The largest it can strip is 10 gauge solid or 12 gauge stranded. I don't have any 10 gauge solid, so we're gonna have to make do with the 12 gauge stranded. And as you can see right there, you have no problem whatsoever cutting that outer insulation whatsoever off of that wire, as you can see there. And we'll go ahead and do that one more time. Just go ahead and pierce that outer insulation all the way around, and as you can see, you are able to pull off that outer insulation no problem whatsoever and cut through it with these. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. So overall, these are definitely a nice pair of wire strippers that Ideal has to offer. It would be nice to see them produce some more options like this for tools made in the USA. Now, I'm not hating on the tools made overseas. These definitely are a nice pair of wire strippers from Ideal, and they definitely do get the job done. I would just like to see it made in the USA. That's really my only complaint with this tool. Other than that, it performs relatively nice. Is able to get the job done. You can pick these up at your local Lowe's or your local Menards, depending on which you have close to you. I will link both of them down in the description if you would like to pick up this tool yourself. The links will take you straight to this tools page where you can purchase the tool. I will also leave a link down to Ideal's website in the description below as well, if you would like to head over there and find out more information about this tool. But that's all I have for this video, so thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. That's all I have for this video, so thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video to be uploaded.